Hello guys and welcome back to the channel, thanks for tuning in. So today we're going to be talking about none other than the legendary Nintendo DS. So without further ado, get a drink, grab some snacks and let's have a chat. So this handheld is one of my favourite handhelds, and I believe many of you would have had one of these when you were growing up, or even in your late teens, late 20s, late 40s even, because this was catered for everybody. So everybody had something to play on this legendary handheld console, including myself. So this console had a lot of games for its time. Even when it first came out, I was a little bit on the fence thinking, is this console going to be any good? But to be honest with you, it didn't fail to amaze me. And you got to remember guys, that this console actually came out 2004. The thing about this console guys, even to this day, it feels really future-proofed, and the reason why I say that is because it does play Game Boy Advance games. It feels really good in the hands, very ergonomic I must say, and it is really well built. And it's future-proofed, like I said, it does play Game Boy Advance games. You can put carts in here and away you go. You don't really need to have a Game Boy Advance. The only reason why I have a Game Boy Advance is because I love the Game Boy Advance and I like to mod it and stuff, so that's the reason why I have one. But if I didn't have one, I mean, this DS plays Game Boy Advance games perfectly. Save states work, you can just jump right in and have a ton of fun, as you'll see. So I'm going to play a little bit of Spyro for you guys. Everybody loves Spyro, right? Another thing the Nintendo DS didn't fail on was game after game after game after game, and it just catered for everybody, kids, middle-aged people, older people. I know people's grandparents were playing the DS, you know what I mean? So, it was one of those consoles that just really catered for everybody, and it just cleaned up the market. I think this single-handedly was an amazing time to be alive, especially for myself. Because I remember going in to the game shops and stuff, and there was always new games and I just couldn't keep up. It's not like the Nintendo Switch now. If you want a physical copy for Nintendo Switch games, it's really difficult. But for the DS, they were just coming out game after game after game. And if you can't get some of those games, and you do own them or whatever, you can get some ROMs and throw them onto this R4 card. I've only got the ROMs that I already own, guys, so I wouldn't really recommend you guys going to get illegal ROMs. So we're not going to do that on this channel, but these are the games that I already own, so I just dumped them on here. Just then I can show you that, if you do want to have them all in one place and not have to carry the carts around with you or the boxes and stuff, you can just dump them onto this R4 card and have a ton of fun. I'm actually playing Castlevania at the moment, one of my favourite games, one of my favourite game franchises, to be honest with you. I love Castlevania type games, I love Metroidvania type games, and I love Metroid. Enough said. I just want to show you some of the pixel work on this game. It's absolutely phenomenal. You gotta remember guys, this console is quite old, as I keep mentioning. Sound amazing, you don't need to do no mods or anything like that on this console. Speakers are great, picture quality is on point. The screen is a little bit small, but aside from that, fantastic. Now I have got some gems, like this is a Japanese version of Bleach. Didn't manage to get it in English because I don't think it came out in English, but still, it's still an epic game. And then we've got GTA. Now I played a lot of this, I've also got it on iOS, and it's a magnificent game. Like I said, the catalogue just does not stop for this console. It's just everlasting and ever going, and you can just collect for this console, even though some of the games that have come out on this console are very rare to get and very expensive. One of the games that if I can think on top of my head, that I tried to get was Radiant Historia, even though I have the remake of it for the 3DS, but that's a very rare game to get, and I think I have seen it for $188 plus shipping fees, so that's well over 200 bucks if you're in the States. So yeah, the games for the DS are quite expensive, but at the same time, if that's something that you like to do, if you like to collect games, like for myself, I love RPGs, I love Metroidvania type games. I love the whole franchise of Castlevania, obviously I've said that before, but I love Castlevania, Metroidvania, and RPGs, and just Mario, stuff like that, Sonic. I love all of them types of games. So if you're a collector and you want to collect for this console now, I suggest you really get onto it, because in a couple of years time, one, some of the games will not be available, which, believe me, there's a couple that are, that aren't available anymore, unfortunately. But yeah, if you want to collect, start collecting for this console now, because it is getting a bit late. Again, the console's been out for a very, very long time, and if you can pick up anything that you like, definitely go out there and do it. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, there is quite a few versions to this handheld, and I'm going to make a video on that. At the moment, I only own this version of the console. I remember, I believe, when it first was released, it was released in a very a clamshell, ugly looking thing. My brother had that, and I was like, I'm not really a fan of this DS till the later ones came out, and then I managed to pick this up, and I've had it ever since. So this DS is quite old. I've had it for quite a few years now. It does show signs of age on the actual shell and stuff, and the good thing though is that the buttons are actually in good condition. I don't actually press too hard on the buttons and stuff, so I always try to look after and maintain my stuff. So even if that happens, you can swap them out, it's not really an issue, but I like to have original buttons for Nintendo stuff. It's just the way I am. Another thing that I love about the DS is that once you're done playing, you can just close it, put it away. That's your gaming session done. After a couple of hours or however long you need a break for, come back and resume right where you left off. Isn't that epic, guys? So like I was mentioning earlier, Nintendo stuff is really future-proofed, and I really love the little details that they put into their consoles and the things that they make. Like, for example, being able to put your Game Boy Advance loose cartridges in your DS games, because the DS can play GBA games. The stylus ahead of its time, again, a touchscreen. This was way back in 2004 when touchscreen wasn't even that much of a thing. So going back and really looking at this console, I mean, it's just a timepiece in itself. It's a beautiful little console, really well thought out, and I will love this until the end of time. It's one of those consoles that I will love. Before I go, I do gotta mention Pokemon. Now, this Pokemon is one of my favorite Pokemons, and I did spend a lot of time on this Pokemon game, but I'm not a huge fan of Pokemon. But like I mentioned, this game I did spend a lot of time in, and this is actually my missus' save. She started playing it because she watched me play it one time, and she was like, "You're such a baby." But then when she watched me play it for a couple of hours, she was actually intrigued and she wanted to play the game for herself. So I was like, yeah, check it out. She's not got very far. I think she just started it and put it down, didn't really look back. But for myself, yeah, a legendary Pokemon game. Definitely check this Pokemon game out, guys, if you haven't. But yeah, there's so much fun even till this day that you can have on this console. So many games that I still love to play. Sometimes you just think, oh, Nintendo Switch graphics, Xbox, PlayStations, and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes I just like to go back and have a little bit of handheld fun. Go back, have a little bit of nostalgia. You know what I mean? But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.